There are parts of the world where few of us would dare go. Where terrain is tough and temperatures unforgiving. And where mysterious myths and infamous legends still linger in the shadows. I'm Francesca Chiorando, and I'm on a mission to discover some of the most treacherous corners of the globe.
Dangerous!
Yeah, sorry! Ah!
Some scary, and others dangerous.
Genuinely thought I might die.
Places where the landscape has shaped its people. Are these really some of the most challenging places on Earth?
This place hits every single one of your senses with a sledgehammer.
And what will I discover when I get there? I've come to the Welsh region of Snowdonia, one of the most remote places in Great Britain. This harsh and hostile region has no less than 9 mountain ranges and is home to Mount Snowdon, the highest peak in England and Wales.
Some claim that parts of Snowdon can be as dangerous as Everest.
Its terrain can be just as deadly, but its dangers are underestimated by some of the millions of people who come here every year.
I'm keen to find out just how terrifying Snowdonia really is.
Why this treacherous terrain influenced its past battles.
3, 2, 1!
And why this death-defying location is so attractive to so many people. Snowdonia spans 2,548 square kilometres across North Wales. Most of the area is a national park, and Mount Snowdon, its highest peak, towers at 1,085 metres. My aim is to trek to the summit of Mount Snowdon. But before I dare put a foot on these mountains, I want to find out what type of dangers lie ahead. So I've called on veteran mountain rescuer Chris Lloyd.
What are the most common mistakes that you see people make when you go out on rescues?
Well, I think a lot of people don't plan the challenge which is ahead of them, because some of the mountains here are quite a challenge, quite rocky, and they can wander off a footpath and not realise that they're going into danger.
I might be being a bit naive, but the sun is shining, things look lovely. I don't see any immediate dangers. What's the worst that could happen?
Realistically, you could lose your life. And sadly, a number of people do every year, despite all attempts to warn people of the hazards of the mountains. Tragically, they pay the ultimate price.
Chris knows what he's talking about. He's spent the last 40 years working as a volunteer for the Agwin Valley Mountain Rescue Organisation. Set up in 1965, it's run entirely by volunteers and is one of 6 rescue teams responding to incidents across Snowdonia.
The weather can change remarkably quickly from mountain to mountain, and people are just not used to weather changing so quickly. We can actually get 4 seasons in the day, starting off with glorious weather, and then you'll have a hailstorm, and the place will turn white and slippery. We deal with about half a dozen fatalities on the mountains, where people have fallen long distances, and you can imagine what that does to the human body. And we have to pick it up and also treat it with respect. And one misplaced footing can mean you go into your death.
Changeable and unpredictable weather can make this rocky region even more hazardous to people like me who are new to the area. It's enemy number one for rescuers here.
Right, pre-lower brief. We're going to lower Jim 15 feet.
Today I've been invited to take part in a mountain training exercise, an event the team runs on a frequent basis to keep everyone on their toes. I've volunteered to play a stranded casualty suffering with a broken ankle.
Edge line ready.
Edge ready.
Jockey ready.
Jockey ready.
Edge transition. Jim's over the edge. How's the speed, jockey?
Good speed.
I'm unable to move. And in an incident like this, lack of mobility in this cold environment means a person could start to lose body heat fast and could descend into hypothermia.
10 foot. 8.
It's vital the team get to the casualty as quickly as possible.
OK, so what we need to do, we're going to make you nice and comfortable. We're going to lower you down. We're going to immobilise your limb. Take a look at it. Up here, it's not so easy to do it, but because you're in pain, we'll try and immobilise it. We've got a party waiting for us at the bottom, and we'll do any other assessment that we need to do there.
You ready, Jim?
Yeah. Can you lift your leg a little bit? Mm-hmm. How's the pain?
Incredible.
Is it? OK, well, you're doing really, really well. So I'm going to pull you back out. So you're going to lean with me.
Mm-hmm.
6 foot. Just watch your foot as you come in.
Okay, guys, just
Okay.
on here.
There we go.
Got enough slack, Jim?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
What we're going to do, Francesca, is get you onto this stretcher.
Jim?
Okay, there. All your weight on me.
I'm on safer ground and staggered at the number of volunteers, planning and organisation it takes to get just one person out of danger.
Right, this is Denton Ox. If you just suck it in wherever you feel pain.
The team now needs to carry me,
Forward.
plus over 100 kilos of equipment down the mountain where my injuries would be treated.
Steady, lower.
It must be absolutely terrifying if you get into a situation where you're in that much danger, and you can just imagine what it would be like if it started to rain or if it started to snow. Every single second you spend there, just a little bit closer to hypothermia.
These mountains are much more menacing than I first thought, and the terrain here is not to be underestimated. Half of Snowdonia is made of steep ground that's over 300 metres high. So it's no surprise that thousands of climbers from around the world come here to battle with the extreme natural hazards terrain like this can offer. I'm about to climb a rock face known for its almost vertical ascent.
Okay, so here it is. This is the foot of Milestone Buttress.
Okay.
Take your packs off here. So we're going to be climbing. There's a crack that goes up this slab just over here. And then you go over a little roof, you see the steeper section, and up onto the slab above, about another 15 metres.
We're going across that way.
Across that way, yeah. It's been raining a bit already, and if it does rain, it's going to be pretty tricky to get up there, and it's going to be, you know, quite hard to get back down again.
Does it make it a lot more difficult if it's wet?
Yeah, it does. I mean, climbing up the rocks becomes way more difficult. It's so slippery.
Okay.
The wind has picked up. There's drops of rain coming in. And I'm thinking, when it gets wet, It's going to be a whole different game trying to climb it. There are worries there of what can go wrong here.
Callum knows this route well. At 22 years old, he's the youngest climber in the UK to hold a mountain instructor certificate. But I'm as good as a novice, and I'm about to take on a rock face with a 40-metre near vertical drop.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, when you ready? Just take it easy.
I need to use all my strength to pull myself up the rock. It's hard to find a crack to place my hands and feet in, but what surprises me the most is how the rain has made the surface of the rock so slippery.
It's a lot smoother than it looks.
Yeah, that's because it's, you know, this route's been climbed since the 1800s, so it's pretty worn.
And very, very tiny, tiny little handholds.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's tricky.
Excellent.
Whew.
Good job. How are you doing, Francesca?
Yeah, it's very smooth.
This is the hardest section here.
There is literally very, very little to hold on to.
So just keep an eye out on, you know, look for the holes. Work your feet up steadily and don't overreach.
I must be only halfway through the climb, and my hands and feet are starting to get tired.
Whew. Now how do I get over here?
I now have to move sideways across the mountain face, but I've got a 2-metre block of rock sticking out at a 90-degree angle.
See, this is the bit that I was worried about, because you've got to get over a lip.
So here, Francesca, you've got to run your feet up really nice and high.
It's like my fingers are scrabbling for things to find, and there's just nothing there. I thought you said it got easier as you got higher.
You're nearly there now. Well done.
So here...
It's just a bit higher, but both where your left hand is.
Oh my God! Are you sure? Ah. I'm literally throwing myself across a rock.
That's it. Good job. Easy. Good effort. That's great. How do you feel after that?
It's scary.
Yeah.
After the hardest 40 metres I've ever climbed, I'm relieved to have finally made it to the top.
The scariest part was not far below the lip, where the wall was so smooth. It was a real struggle to get any kind of grip. It was about that much of my finger that was holding on to really something very small. Then you have to use your body weight to push yourself up, and you have to have faith that you can do that. And that was when I was pushed out of my comfort zone. And I definitely felt the fear there.
That was a tough introduction to this place. There are parts of Mount Snowdon, especially in the harsh winter months, that are as dangerous to climb as anywhere else in the world. And many great mountaineers come here to train for bigger expeditions further afield. The most famous to use Snowdon was the first British team ever to conquer Mount Everest in 1953, led by Sir Edmund Hillary. I've tracked down the hotel where they lodged and want to know how Snowdon played a vital role in the team's Everest success.
The British members of the team certainly all came to stay here and train prior to going out to Nepal, mainly because of its ease to get here from London. A lot of them were professionals working in the city and could only come here at the weekend to walk, and so it was quite easy for them to get here. And also, technically, the mountains here are quite extreme. Snowdon is a lot smaller than Everest, but if you come here in the winter when it's all covered in snow and ice, you could be climbing anywhere in the world. It's technically as difficult.
Nick leads me to a small area tucked away behind the bar that contains treasured mementos belonging to the Everest team.
The inner sanctum. So you can see how it's laid out very cozy.
It's amazing to think that right here, Sir Edmund Hillary and his team planned and discussed their Everest attempt.
And this cabinet, we've got all the, various parts of equipment that the expedition gave us.
This is crazy. They gave these things to you when they got back from Everest?
They did, yeah. They each gave us a piece of equipment. Yeah, I mean, you could go down the local shop, buy better equipment, and then all of this is
And
here.
they got to the top of Everest wearing that.
They did.
Nowadays, you have such sophisticated equipment so easily.
Yeah, I know.
Anyone can have it.
I know. I mean, the boots and the actual weight of the oxygen tank and all of that. I mean, it's unbelievable, really, when you think about it.
Do you think, because of the difference in equipment between then and now, that climbers on Snowdonia would have faced more dangers?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, apart from anything else, we didn't know all the routes up the mountains that we know now, so they would have been picking their way up rather than a definite way. Back in the 50s, it was just rough rock, loose rock. There was no paths, really.
If walking up these hostile hills was near impossible in the 1950s, what must life have been like 700 years ago, when Wales was defending its land against English invasion? Dolgellau Castle in the heart of Snowdonia is one of the last remaining castles of the native Welsh princes. Situated in the Llanberis Pass, this landmark was built by Llewellyn the Great in the early 13th century to govern the main route between the coast of North Wales and the valleys of the south.
An axe on one side, a spike on the top, a spike on the back, on a very long stick.
Wow, that sounds brutal. Why'd you like that?
Located in such mountainous terrain, it meant the only way to fight the enemy was on foot. So Llewellyn relied heavily on his infantry to engage in close-up, violent, hand-to-hand combat.
So here you go with your spear.
Okay.
So you're aiming for the eyes, you're aiming for the neck, round the throat.
I've transformed myself into a typical Welsh lower-class foot soldier to experience the dangers of medieval battle.
I'm going to pick this up, I'm going to go overhand here. This hand is controlling, and it's thrusting and stepping at the same time, so it's a real lunge.
Oh, that's properly violent.
Well, you're not tickling them, you're trying to kill them.
Okay.
You going to try?
Gary Ball is an experiential archaeologist and knows a thing or two about the bloody business of Welsh warfare.
It's very violent, but in reality, you only have one shot at this. And if you don't hit them, they're going to hit you.
Or the man behind him, or the man behind that, or the man behind that. So make it count. Go on, kill him. That's better. And again.
Kill or be killed.
Some of the poorest members of society fought for their king with agricultural tools, like pitchforks and axes. But Gary tells me that the spear was the choice of weapon for foot soldiers higher up the social ladder. The more money you had, the more weapons and armor you could afford to buy.
Now, one of the most vulnerable parts of any soldier is your head and face, and that needs protecting. You can put some solid plate in the form of a helmet. There we go. Not the most comfiest things to wear.
It's not terribly comfortable. It's pretty sturdy.
It's actually ideal to stop you getting your brains bashed in and your skull smashed to pieces. So it's an essential bit of armour, protect your head.
Okay, well, my head's protected, so what next?
I would also look at your fingers. So here we have a leather gauntlet, which is covered in mail, and this has got hundreds and hundreds of these metal rings, these iron loops, which all knit together.
Wow.
Now we know that little bits of mail would have been affordable for these sort of middle-ranking spearmen. Another particular vulnerable part is the throat. Let's try this one on.
Okay.
A bit more weight.
I don't know how they were supposed to move. I can imagine even just wearing this for a few hours, and they'd probably be wearing it for a day, over a day, but you would be red raw underneath it, even if you had protective
14
layers.
days and nights.
Jeez. And when you took it off, I mean, even just for a few minutes, it's uncomfortable, but your skin would just be rubbed off, red raw, painful, wouldn't it?
It would.
But my face is still exposed to an attacking blow from the enemy.
Hundreds and hundreds of iron rings.
So Gary shows me another piece of chainmail known as a coif.
Oh gosh.
And this drapes then down to protect the rest of your shoulders.
Oh my God. It weighs a ton. You can't really see anything or move. It's more the weight of the coif on top of the helmet. The helmet's not comfortable, and then it digs into your head. And then actually, I know it's protecting me, but the only way I can see is by turning. So if anyone comes at me from the side, you're very limited on what you can do.
And that's the whole thing about medieval technology and the evolution of arms and armour. You're always weighing up the protective value of the materials, which is the weight, compared to the mobility it's going to allow you, or the lack of mobility. What it is going to do, it's going to stop you being cut, and we can demonstrate that. If I just rub that across, you see, you can't be cut. You are actually completely safe in there. So this is going to cut you only in the bits where the mail is missing.
There's a lot of raw materials in these, but also a lot of manpower. They must have cost a fortune.
To be equipped as a knight, really at the pinnacle of military technology, you're looking at the equivalent of a millionaire lifestyle. You're talking of millions of euros worth of equipment. Your warhorse is the equivalent of a sports car today.
It strikes me that having money directly influenced whether you'd survive a battle or not.
They were wealthy beyond our measure, some of these leaders and nobles. The better quality, the better effectiveness of your armour, the better chance you've got of your soldiers surviving those really bloody, vicious, man-to-man conflicts and holding on to power. And that's just as important.
I have no doubt in my mind that medieval fighting was savage and that wealth played a huge part. But there's another chapter in Welsh history where prosperity and danger walked hand in hand. In the mid-1800s, a large global demand for roofing made slate production a leading industry in North Wales. Thousands of men flocked to Snowdonia to mine its natural resource. At its height in 1898, 17,000 men were producing almost 500,000 tons of slate from open quarries and underground mines. But miners, especially those below ground, faced treacherous conditions and thousands lost their lives. Leward slate mine was active for 130 years. As I stepped down its old disused tunnel, The temperature drops and it's getting more and more eerie. Not a place to be if you suffer from claustrophobia.
So we're about halfway down now. We've got 16 working levels altogether. We're on the A level, and we've got another 8 beneath us, 7 above us. Wow. We're about 300 meters down in the ground here now, going into the mountain.
Despite this mine now being out of use, I can see why I still have to wear protective gear. The tunnel ceilings are low, and we're almost in total darkness. So how did miners work in these conditions?
This is where they'd be working off these chains here. These are original chains from the Victorian time. And all you'd have is a drill, hand drill, and a candle. So it'd be very dark, and there'd be lots of danger around you. Rockfall, dust, and explosions. Be using gunpowder as well. So you can imagine how dangerous it'd be in these places, naturally dangerous.
Phil, my guide, tells me that Victorian slate miners relied on long chains to get up and down the rock face and to move to wooden platforms higher up above ground. According to Phil, it was the safest way of working, and I'm keen to understand why.
Okay, so chains is what they'd use. They wouldn't use a rope, because a rope in the damp conditions, if you tie a knot with a wet rope, it's almost impossible to undo that knot. With a chain, just wraps around your leg, locks into position, and then if you're in trouble, you just move your leg and you're out of a situation fast. I'll give us a demonstration, yeah? So, up, and then round your leg. And then use your own weight, keep yourself in position. Then you're free then to work with your drill. So do you want to go?
Yeah.
What you have to remember as well, you'd be doing this in the dark with only a candle, and you'd have a drill as well.
So I jump up. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not easy, is it?
No.
And then you've got to just hang there.
Are you comfortable?
No! Oh my gosh! That's like 30 seconds and it hurts.
Yeah. Try 11 and a half hours.
So it's a skill even just staying still.
It is.
For 11 and a half hours. Surely that would cause some kind of long-term damage.
Deep vein thrombosis, as well as stops the circulation, but as well you could have accidents. If you slip, then you could dislocate your leg, and you can imagine if you're falling down there and that's still stuck to your leg. And this is what my grandfather did every day.
Working conditions improved throughout the years, but miners still used gunpowder to blast away rock, which meant the risk of injury or even death was still high. In 1977, former slate miner Mervyn Jones was caught in an explosion in this very chamber.
I was just standing over there
just
when it happened.
Here?
Yeah. My father was standing over there.
Uh-huh.
I had a little seat over there when we had our break in the morning, and I noticed after the blast a stone had gone right through the seat. If I was sitting there and not standing there, it would have gone through me. Yeah.
The explosion was set off when gunpowder Mervyn's father was preparing for a blast ignited prematurely.
Was your father injured from the blast?
Oh, yes, yes. It blew a piece of his arm off, had veins everywhere, and he knew how to do a talk and that's how to stop the bleeding.
You must have been terrified.
Oh, God, yeah.
You must have, but to get out of here that quickly, it must have been horrible.
That finished it. I didn't want any more.
I've met up with Phil again. He wants to show me a cavern, somewhere miners sat in during their breaks from work.
In the damp, dark conditions, you need something to keep you going throughout the day, because you've got 12-hour shifts, so you're going to be down here, and because it's so far down, you're going to waste time going back up to the surface. So these are the places where they'd have their lunch. This would be the heart of their working day. Be singing as well, to lift the spirits. It's food for the soul, yeah? I'll give you a song. This is one of mine. Ceffyl blaen ar ben yr uniog, trio'i orau fel ystiniog, dedodd pawb ma'n dod o Gymru, ond i'r diawl ddim ond ymbrymni.
You can really imagine a group of Welshmen down here singing their hearts out.
Yeah.
It would lift spirits.
It would, wouldn't it?
But it was a tough life, wasn't it?
Very, very tough. Very tough.
I've only spent a few hours down here and I think I'm ready to go.
What shocked me was the environment. How dark it was, how cold it was, the fact they only had one little light each, and those mines were pitch black. Adding to that, the work was physically exhausting and genuinely dangerous. Hard, really hard life, and not much of a life at all. Pretty much just working so that your family could eat.
While most of the slate mines in North Wales have now closed for production, some are being regenerated for a completely different use. Towards the end of the 19th century, the Penins slate quarry in the town of Bethesda was the largest in the world. Today it runs a much smaller scale operation, but its imposing craters and waste slate heaps still dominate the landscape. It's only recently that it's transformed itself from waste ground to playground, and it's now home to the fastest zip line in the world.
3, 2, 1!
People flock here to head dive at a top speed of 160 kilometers an hour over the mine's biggest pit.
That is a very big hole right over the water. It's going to be quite scary.
This activity is not for the faint-hearted. But I'm curious to know why some people find this type of controlled danger such a thrill.
Just come over here, watch your head on the wire. Okay, now if you could just step down into the footwell here onto this step, get into a press-up position. Okay. Okay, big push, straighten the legs. What I want you to do is just keep an eye out in front of you as you approach the end. If you see the instructors at the end bringing their arms out into a big T-shaped position, you need to do the same, okay? So if for any reason you fail to make the end of the zip wire, let's just say there's a big northerly gust and you get stuck over the lake, try not to worry too much. All that will happen is someone will come out from the base on the wire, clip onto you, and you'll get pulled to the base with them, okay?
So I can get stuck?
You could do. It's nothing to worry about, though. Just be hanging around for a few minutes. Think of it as value for money. You'll be fine. Don't worry. There's nothing to worry about. You've got this.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Big base, big top. Can you confirm the landing is clear? Safety's off.
There we go.
And in 3, 2, 1.
But you went down really fast, and then you went over like a cliff edge, and boom, there was just this huge pool of blue water. And the wind was just throwing you around.
I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that before. And I can totally see why some people would find this so exciting. Putting my thrill ride aside, the more time I spend in this unforgiving environment, the more I realise dangers can be overcome, if you're prepared. But some adventurers go to extreme lengths to conquer some of the biggest rock faces in the world. And I've been invited to a secluded location to find out how one experienced climber survives during a long-distance expedition.
Hi, Francesca, how you doing? Welcome to the cliff.
But I'm sensing this isn't going to be easy.
Have you done any climbing before?
I've only done a very
bit.
little bit.
Okay. First things first, let's put a harness on. So pull it right up over your hips, and then you can do the same with the legs, just tighten the leg loops up a little bit. All right, does it feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to pop a helmet on, just in case we kind of slip and hit your head at all.
Okay.
It just kind of makes sense to have them on, just in case.
I'm feeling nervous. I'm not too sure where we're going yet, but if we're using helmets and harnesses, it's got to be somewhere high up. And I'm not great with heights.
And you've got me safe?
Yeah, I've got you, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's go and have a look.
Suspended 2 meters below the cliff edge is a paper-thin camp bed known as a portaledge. It's just a layer of material stretched over a lightweight frame.
It's about 24 metres or something to the floor.
It looks higher than 24 metres.
Yeah, 24 metres is quite a long way. What do you think? So we're going to get sat down and turn around and climb down onto there.
That looks scarier than standing here. It doesn't...
Being down there?
Yeah, it doesn't look very secure.
It's pretty secure, tied onto these big trees. But yeah, I mean, once you get on it, there's like a little minute of being a little bit worried because it does move around.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But you're always tied on.
You're always tied on.
You're always tied on. So you actually sleep on these?
Yeah, I spent 2 weeks sleeping on these ones. The first thing is to get yourself sat on the edge here.
Sit with my feet facing down?
Yeah, yeah. That's the first thing.
Ah!
Can you see? We're going to get your foot onto this little mini ledge here. It's like getting into an empty swimming pool or something like that.
Right, OK. Empty swimming pool that's 25 metres deep. And if I fall, you've got me?
Yeah, yeah. This is the most awkward bit. Hey, that's fine. Cool, so now if you step down, lower yourself onto the green rope a bit.
What, lean back?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't lean back. Ah!
Deep down, I know I'm safe, but it's hard to remain calm when I'm looking down at a 24-metre drop below me.
So try and put your right foot down lower. That's it, you got it. Cool, that's the hard bit done.
Ah! My legs aren't long enough.
So there's a little bit of rope. And now the next big step you do, you're going to be able to get all the way onto the ledge. And when you get onto the ledge, if you can, try and get your weight on the middle, because it will move around. So when you can, get a big step down onto it.
Which foot, left or right?
Whatever feels right. So if you get your bum down, then you'll probably be a bit more relaxed.
That was scary. Oh. Just look how high this is. You kind of forget when you sat on here how high you are, but when you look over and it kind of hits you, that's a serious drop. That's not something you would survive if you fell. Worst case scenario, the rope could break and you would just fall. You, ledge, everything straight down. It's one of those things, it's instinct. You might be told you're safe and you might be tied in, but your primal instinct is saying, this isn't safe.
It was interesting to see how some hardcore mountaineers spend their rest time on a big climb. But I'm not sure I'll be coming back to the edge anytime soon.
So all of this that I've done has been in preparation for the big challenge that I set myself, which now is tomorrow, and that is to get to the top of Snowden. So I'm just gonna go and I will give it my all. And on that note, I need to get some sleep.
It's the day of my trek to the summit of Mount Snowden, and I've taken advice from the mountain rescue team and asked experienced climber Johan Doyle to act as my guide.
Not bad. You had a good few days?
Good. Enlightening. I've picked up a few bumps and bruises along the way.
Well, last big day today. Need to go to the top of Snowden. But can you see that? The cloud's a little bit low, so the weather could be a little bit changeable.
Yeah.
But you look quite well kitted out anyway.
OK, let's hope.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Come on then.
We've decided to take the Watkin path up to the summit. It's a deceivingly gentle and picturesque start, but this route is known as being one of the steepest and toughest of the 6 paths open to the public, as it starts close to sea level. We've spent over an hour trekking. The open fields are now behind us, and we are quickly taking on much steeper ground. We're completely cut off from anywhere here. I can imagine how easily you could get into trouble if you were new to the mountain and took a wrong turn. Johan tells me that North Wales is one of the areas in the UK where most deaths occur among hill walkers.
So, I don't mean to scare you, but people have lost their lives up here. And every year, really, we have accidents due to people being complacent, you know, because the thing is, especially on a day like today, it's beautiful, isn't it? But quickly you put a mix of poor visibility, rain, and, you know, the bad weather that we get up here, and it soon turns into a nightmare. Care really needs to be taken, especially on the scree bit here at the start, because it's all actually falling away from the mountain, and it's all quite small, slippy stones, and it's sort of like stepping on marbles in a way, because it's all going away under your feet.
I'll follow you.
Okay, let's go.
We must be approaching the 1,000-metre mark. Although we're not technically climbing using ropes, the terrain is getting so steep and narrow that at times I have to use my hands to scramble up the mountain.
How you getting on? You okay?
It's hard work. You know, you're trying to power through and keep going and get to the top, but on the other hand, you've got this really steep ridge down to the side. So you're kind of concentrating on keeping the energy going, but one slip, and you could be gone.
Well, you know, the nature of the ground is really steep, and it soon goes away from where the path's been trodden, but, you know, we've only got this small bit now, and we'll be on the summit ridge, and we'll be there. So, let's keep going.
I'm pretty fit, but I'm getting exhausted. One slip and that would be me off the edge. After a very challenging trek over the course of 3 hours, I can finally see the summit in my sights. Just as the weather starts to close in.
We're here.
Oh, I made it.
So this is the summit of Snowden, the highest peak in England and Wales.
It's incredible.
And yeah, you've reached the top. How do you feel?
Do you know what? I found that a lot physically harder than I thought I was going to. I really did. There were actual times when I was just, you know, my heart was going, and it was a real struggle to get here. I feel really proud.
And being a very fit and an active person yourself, how did you feel that as a challenge? Sort of thing?
Honestly, it was quite challenging. I didn't expect that.
Or was it enough of a challenge for you?
It was. It was. It's meant, if I think about back to the beginning of the journey, we started in these beautiful bluebell woods.
Yeah.
Then through a little bit of, you know, farmland up here, then the rugged path, and now we've stood actually in the clouds.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But I must say, I wouldn't have got here if it weren't for you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
It may be a challenging place, but it's a pretty incredible one.
I didn't actually think I would feel this proud to have made it to the top of Snowden. But when I stand here, pretty much standing in the clouds, and I look all the way down there, I can't even see where I began this morning. It's actually been an incredible journey all the way up. You know, there have been times where I've had slips, I've had to be careful, my heart has been pounding, my hands have been shaking. It might sound really silly, but honestly, it's really quite tough. And right now, I do feel really proud.
Looking back through my journey to this place, I've learnt that Snowdonia can be treacherous if you underestimate the terrain. One wrong step, and it could be fatal.
This is Penins rocks.
On the other hand, it's a mecca for people who want to fly in the face of danger.
I'm literally throwing myself across a rock.
And live life to the extreme.
That looks scarier than standing here.
Snowdonia has a long history where danger has played a central role. And I have no doubt that as long as these unforgiving mountains remain an attraction, danger will always be in the air.